Let our hearts not be hardened. To those living on the margins, there is room at the table for everyone. This is where it all begins. This is how we gather in. There is room at the table for everyone. Too long we have wandered, burdened and undone, but there is room at the table for everyone. Let us sing the new world in. This is how it all begins. There is room at the table for everyone. There is room for us all, and no gift is too small. There is room at the table for everyone. There's enough if we share. Come on, hold up a chair. There is room at the table for everyone. No matter who you are, no matter where you're from, there is room at the table for everyone. Here and now we can be the beloved community. There is room at the table for everyone. There is room for us all, and no gift is too small. There is room at the table for everyone. There's enough if we share. Come on, pull up a chair. There is room at the table for everyone. There is room for us all, and no gift is too small. There is room at the table for everyone. There's enough if we share. Come on, pull up a chair. There is room at the table for everyone. Let our hearts not be hardened. To the living on the margins, there is room at the table for everyone. This is how we gather in. For everyone. Everyone.
Good morning, Unity of Payson. Oh, you're in good voice this morning, those of you who are here in person. And we trust that those of you who are joining us virtually are also in good voice. It's Thanksgiving week. And of course, we've been sharing about grateful and gratitude all of this month. And it's kind of building in a crescendo to that Thanksgiving table that we all are going to sit at, or probably most of us are. And there's room at the table. No more than that. Everyone is invited to the table. Everyone's invited. Because we are one, whether we recognize it or not. So as we join in gratitude, would you please just take a moment to be quiet with me and to spend some time in that quiet in prayer as we open our service this morning. God of all goodness, In this season, we're reminded especially to be grateful. We are grateful for all that we have, for all that we are, expressions of the divine, and even all that we give and all that we look forward to in advance. We're grateful in advance for the good that we know comes into our life, because all things work together for good. So this morning, as we gather together, we lift our hearts up in that gratitude. Together, we affirm our oneness. Together, we reach out to invite everyone to the table. Again, I am grateful for each one who's joined us this morning. Grateful for the energy that they bring. And so, in this gratitude, we say, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, God. And so it is.
It's time for our opening song, Love is My Decision. And you're free to send greetings in the chat during the opening song if you'd like.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision. my decision right here and now. My decision right here and now.
Well, well, well. Welcome to Unity of Payson. My name is Donna. I'm your hostess this morning, and I hear that my voice is loud. I don't hear that it's loud, but I read that it's loud in the chat. Sorry about that. We're so glad that you're with us this morning. If you are with us virtually today, well, I'm with you virtually today, so I can see where you're joining us from. We want to recognize those who are new to Unity of Payson. If you're here for the first or second time, either in person or virtually, please raise your hand so we may recognize you. And since I'm not in person, please let me know if anyone there is new. Please remain after the service briefly so Reverend Neal can greet you. And if you're online, if you're here with us in person, please remain for fellowship so we can get to know you. We have a weekly e-newsletter on Mondays. If you leave us your email, we will send it to you. Again, we warmly welcome you, and from our Unity of Payson family, we say together, we love you, we bless you, and we welcome you. If I could have a gallery view, then I can greet everyone. I have a side-by-side gallery right now. I don't have a gallery view, but anyway, we're grateful for those who support Unity of Payson with your time, your talent, and your treasure. We're grateful for all the events and the events of last week and the technology that allows us to meet in a hybrid fashion. If you have a gratitude to share, please raise your hand to be recognized. And then if you're online, please unmute and mute again when you're done. Anybody have a gratitude to share? I saw some in the chat. Teresa said she was grateful for the rain. I'm sure we're all grateful for the rain. And I'm grateful when the sun comes out after the rain. That's nice too.
Yeah, Donna, can you hear me?
Yes?
This is Betty, and Teresa stole my thunder. I was going to say I'm grateful for the rain and the fact that I'm still enjoying produce from my garden. So thank you for the bounty.
I really love that song Room at the Table. That was our gathering song today. And I'm so looking forward to the table at Thanksgiving.
Do you have the microphone, Neil?
I do. Can you hear me?
Now it can.
Okay. I wasn't holding it close enough. Ram has opened his farm, his home, I don't know, gardens. Well, you opened just about everything, didn't you? For a number of us for Thanksgiving dinner, and it's special for Donna and me. I'm speaking for you, Donna, because we have family that are visiting with us, and they're going to go along with us to that Thanksgiving dinner and that big table. How many? 25 people thereabouts? Okay, he says. It's going to be a big table. I saw that. I love the pictures in that gathering song. And there's that one with that endless table. I love the idea. That's what I got. Somebody else?
Okay. Shall we go on?
I'm thankful for the kindness program. I think we do some really cool stuff, and I think people are picking up on it, and I think it's really cool.
Thank you. So let's go on. Unity is grounded in meditation and affirmative prayer. We have trained prayer chaplains to support you. Can we have our next slide, please? Our chaplains are available to pray with you if you have a prayer concern. You may email your request to Rev Neal. The email address is on the screen. Our prayer team and Silent Unity will join you in prayer for a total of 2 months, 60 days. All prayer requests are held sacred and confidential. If you'd like to be contacted by a chaplain, please leave your contact information with your request. Unity of Patience theme for November is grateful. We can say this affirmation together. I am grateful for what I have, who I am, that which I give, and that which I see in advance. I am truly blessed. Today's speaker is Rev Neal Worthington, and the talk title is Grateful for What I Give. Moving on to our metaphysical moment. Just 1 second while I get the book. So those of you who know me know that I've been teaching nonviolent communication for many years. Since I've arrived in Payson, actually, I've been teaching it. And I'm doing coaching with it right now. And so wanted to read this poem from chapter 1, which is Giving from the Heart. And the title is Given To. I never feel more given to than when you take from me, when you understand the joy I feel giving to you. And you know my giving isn't done to put you in my debt, but because I want to live the love I feel for you. To receive with grace may be the greatest giving. There's no way I can separate the two. When you give to me, I give you my receiving. When you take from me, I feel so given too. There's another little refrain I'd like to read from the Words Are Windows or Their Walls song. Words are windows or their walls. They sentence us or set us free. When I speak and when I hear, let the love light shine through me. So one of Marshall Rosenberg's favorite sayings, and he was the psychologist who developed nonviolent communication. He passed away in 2015 and left a legacy of trainers around the globe. But he would say, you never want anyone to give to you unless they can give with the energy of a small child feeding a hungry duck. That's the energy of 100% willingness. And he added, you never want to give unless you can give from that energy as well. So that's what I have for our metaphysical moment. And it's time for our speaker, Reverend Neal.
Thank you, Donna. Well, if you've been with us for the prior weeks this month, you'll know that we've talked about being grateful for what we have. And that's what most people focus on when they think of Thanksgiving and they think of gratitude. But we went on to say we are grateful for what I am. I am an expression of the divine. The divine lives within me. And I'm grateful for that because all of those attributes that we think of as being exclusively the purview of the divine, they're available to us as well. Today, I want to move on to being grateful for what I give. And Donna, that sharing that you gave is very appropriate to this topic. When we're in church, we often think about giving as when we put something in the offering basket. We talk about tithing, and ran into I don't often tell jokes, but I'm going to try. Laugh with me anyway, will you, if I don't do it very good? The story goes that two men were marooned on an island. And the two of them are there, and one of them is fretful, pacing up and down, and pacing, and the other is just relaxing in the sun. Well, the one who's pacing up and down said, "How can you do this? We're marooned. We don't even know if we'll live. No one will find us." Well, the man who was basking in the sun said, "Oh, I don't see it that way." He says, "I make $100,000 every week, and I tithe to my church every week. The pastor will find me." Okay, that's an aside. I had to try out my joke on you. I want some raised hands, and you can even raise them virtually or put them up if you're with us online. How many of you are familiar with Mansa Musa? I see one. We've got one, Mansa Musa. Well, let me tell you about Mansa Musa. Mansa Musa was the emperor of the Empire of Mali. If he had been in our day, he would be in Forbes magazine because his wealth was estimated to be about $400 billion. The Mali includes Guinea, Senegal, Gambia, and currently the country of Mali. And he had great wealth. It came from the salt trade. Salt was a big, important item. And also from gold mining. And he just had warehouses full of gold. He was a good Muslim. And he knew that he wanted, while he could, to make a Hajj to Mecca, to go on that trip to Mecca as an evidence of his Muslim faith. And so he did, but he did it in a little different style than most people. The pilgrims who went to Mecca, he had a retinue of about 60,000 people that went with him. 12,000 of them carried bars of gold that weighed 4 pounds or more. I like to call that his wallet. He took a big wallet when he went to Mecca. But the journey was more than 1,000 miles, and so he passed through many countries. And this fabulously wealthy emperor was also fabulously generous. And to each that he met, he often would give gold. In fact, he gave so much gold in Egypt that it devalued the price of gold, an unexpected thing. But for ordinary people, they were blessed by that giving. He passed through nations that were struggling, and he loaned them money. Actually, he never asked for payment at all. He essentially gave them money. He didn't have any expectation at all to accompany his giving. At one point, he even got to the point where he had exhausted that, and I figured about $1.2 billion in his wallet. I did a little calculation. That 1.2 got exhausted because he had given it all away. And so he borrowed. But the interesting thing was, he always seemed to have more. He always seemed to have enough. And that wealth that he had was replenished again and again. So there you go. Mansa, Mansa stands for king. Mansa Musa. Now you know Mansa Musa. You learned something today. Not my job to be a teacher, but I love to find things like this that illustrate the truth that I'm sharing with you. And here's a key spiritual truth. And I put it in the form of an affirmation. I give without expectation. It blesses everyone, and I am grateful. Let me say that again. I give without expectation. It blesses everyone, and I am grateful. So we get into the idea of what is giving, and I'm going to call it pure giving, because we know lots of times when people have given with some really crazy motivations, and that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about that pure giving, that giving without expectation, without manipulation, but also without obligation. Pure giving for the joy of giving in and of itself. So this pure giving goes without needful recognition. The pure giving doesn't say, well, let me give you this anonymous gift, but make sure that so-and-so knows that I gave it. No, that's not the pure giving we're talking about. It's the giving where, as the old phrase goes, the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. It's just giving. Giving from a heart full, from a faith that says, all that I have, all that I need comes from divine source, and I will always have it. Matter of fact, when I get onto that cycle of giving, it's a law that will be replenished. I get into that cycle, I give, I receive. I give, I receive. And that's not the motivation either, but it's just the law. The law. It's giving, this kind of giving, that is not intended to benefit you. Not for your benefit, but it does. This is not being nice, and thanks to Rick and Donna, who both pointed me to the same little article about the difference between nice and kind. You know, we're kind of wrapped up in this kindness project here. And nice will be with expectations, probably. But kind is just for its own sake. And so when we give, if we want to get tapped into that pure divine giving, we do it without expectation. It's also not self-sacrificing. We think of so those of you who haven't known about it, Saturday Soul Boost, 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon, virtually online. And I've taken to sharing cartoons. And I like it. I like looking up cartoons and it was about giving yesterday. And one of them was a man who was bridging the gap from cliff to cliff. He had his feet on one side and his hands on the other side, and other people were walking right over his back to safety. But that's not the kind of pure giving I'm talking about. It's not a sacrifice of self. It's a sharing of self. Remember this book. Whoop, I'll show it to you. I'm going to show it to you. Yeah, hopefully you can see it online as well. Anybody familiar with 7 Spiritual Laws of Success? I see some more hands going up. Deepak Chopra has a wonderful context for this pure giving. It's something that, though it's not intended to benefit, by law, and he makes this the 2nd spiritual law of success. It benefits us. It just puts us in the flow of the energy of the universe. And let me just read a short paragraph. Every relationship, says Chopra, is one of give and take. Giving engenders receiving, and receiving engenders giving. What goes up must come down. What goes out must come back. In reality, receiving is the same thing as giving, because giving and receiving are different aspects of the flow of energy in the universe. And if you stop the flow of either, you interfere with nature's intelligence. So when we're looking at this pure giving, we've gotten ourselves on the track of the flow of the universe. Lao Tzu said it really briefly. You cannot receive what you don't give. Outflow determines inflow. And we say it every week when we are just before our offering, when we give our gifts. Freely we give and freely we receive. That's the setting for pure giving. So, why should we engage in this pure giving? Why should we give without expectation? We know that it works, but let's talk a little bit about why. So often we get, probably our codependent selves, many of us have a little, we're inclined to be there, should I say, from time to time. Hopefully we're all learning. But so often we get involved in something that's really not ours to do. When we get involved in something that's not ours to do, it's not that pure giving. It's giving because we feel obligated. It's giving because we feel like we'll look good in somebody else's eyes. It's giving because we think we'll look good in our own eyes. And we'll just do and do and do and even burn ourselves out because we haven't taken time to check. Is this mine to do? I'm going to give you an idea or two about how to work with that at the end here. But I think there are 3 key things that come to us as a result of engaging in this pure giving. The first one, purpose. When we give without expectation, we tap into a universal purpose. Expresses in different ways in each of us, but we tap into that purpose. That purpose of our oneness, of our sharing, of our togetherness. So we tap into that purpose. I was thinking of an example of this, and I don't often do this, but I want to refer to my upbringing and my father. My father was a Baptist minister, very conservative, and my theology and his are kind of worlds apart at this point. But he was not a wonderful orator. He was not a great teacher. He wasn't charismatic. But he was a pastor. He served without any particular expectation. There was a sense of purpose in him to go. We grew up in mostly rural communities. there was a sense of purpose for him that going out and baling hay all day long, or cutting wood, or helping somebody build something was a purpose that was his. And I honor him for that. And the same is true for all of us. When we can tap into that giving without expectation in our own unique way, we will know more fully our purpose. Next, there's joy. Have you ever just been pushed, urged, prompted to give, and the result of that for you was great joy? It's happened for me. It's happened here in Payson for me. I want it to happen a lot more, but many of you know that I got involved with the starting of the warming center here in Payson. And in that first year, when during the cold winter, we were able to shelter 24 people every night, I had the opportunity to be one of those people who was kind of there to keep things all together. I was a volunteer to make it happen, to meet people's needs. That gave me such a feeling of joy, not of the ecstatic throwing my arms up in the air, but just an inner joy that I hope expressed in my life in other ways. Yes, purpose, yes, joy. And then, of course, blessing. I like to think that blessing goes with the word that Joseph Campbell used a lot, bliss. I think it's blissing as well. Blessing and blissing, getting ourselves in that place where we can freely give, where we can express our purpose, when we can live our joy and be, without question, happy. A lot of us are not always happy. That blessing that comes from the pure giving, that's going to contribute to our happiness. The Christian Scriptures has an account that goes pretty much like this. With this kind of work, and I don't know what kind of work exactly was being referred to, it doesn't say, we help the weak. Remembering the words that Jesus himself said, it is more blessed to give than to receive. And I think that those words are relating to that pure giving that we have the opportunity to engage in. So we talked about pure giving, why it's important. Now I get to the end of how do I do that? How do I get to that place where I can give without expectation? Well, as with everything, awareness is the start of it. When we're aware of, say, for example, what our motivation is in giving when we are engaged in some sort of giving, when we're aware that the act that we do or the gift that we give of our presence and of ourself is that spiritually enlivening. I have a friend who's a unity minister who is very big on tithing. And he tithes himself and from his church to the Unity Southwest region and the Unity organization, because he feels like that's something that he can give without expecting anything particular to come back. So that giving where we're spiritually enlivened is a key that might help you get to where you want to go. How you do that. And then, are you sensing the urge to give? Not just up here, you're figuring, oh, this would be a good place to give to. Oh, I have all of these requests. People want me to give money. Which of them should I choose? But more, how about coming from within? What am I urged to give? What am I called to give? That's all part of awareness. Now, some really practical things. How do I do that? How do I engage in the pure giving? I'm going to give you 3, and you probably could add many more. 1, this doesn't have anything to do with money. Listen. Just listen. How great a need so many of our friends and neighbors and acquaintances have for someone to listen. Not formulating a response, not looking for a story that we can tell that matches the story that they have or maybe betters it a little bit, but listening. If you would engage in that pure giving and be blessed by it and be able to be grateful for it, listen, just listen. Next, forget. Well, I forget a lot of things these days, but I want to intentionally forget. Forget that I gave something. I'm urged to give the homeless person on the street corner $5, not knowing whether it's a scam or not, but I'm just urged to do it. And so I do it, and I look to forget it. Because the more I remember it, the more I'm kind of trying to pump myself up, trying to see how it benefited me or how good I was. Give and forget. Just forget. And finally, just say no. Wasn't that a slogan for somebody? Just say no. Often we give to someone when we say no. We don't think we are. It's just so easy to say yes. I'm going to fix it for them. I'm going to take care of that situation. But listening to Spirit within, knowing what the urge is, knowing what the call is, may lead us to say no. We don't know why that no will be giving to the person we're saying no to. We so often have a small picture and we don't see the big one. But 3 things: just listen, forget, and say no. I think that if you, well, for me it seems to work. And if you can grab a hold of those things, you'll get into a giving that you can be truly grateful for. The title, as we said, again, is Grateful for What We Give. As we've said, giving engenders receiving. So the whole makeup of the universe is going to be ours. And like Mansa Musa, that's a funny name. Almost didn't remember it. Told you I was forgetting. Mansa Musa gave without expectation of return. But that law of giving and receiving did not make him someone who lost something in that giving, but someone who was enlivened and enriched by that. Our key spiritual truth, one more time. And this is the affirmation. Make your own affirmation, perhaps similar to this. I give without expectation. It blesses everyone, including me, and I am grateful. And so it is.
Thank you, Reverend Neal. The message was very powerful, and I will remember those points. Now it is time to prepare for meditation, and we have a song for us. I am so blessed. In person, you may wish to turn the lights out to set the mood. And here we go.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
So, as Karen Drucker has led us into this quiet time filled with gratitude, let's take opportunity to let everything else that occupies our minds and our energies to slip by the wayside for a moment as we spend this time in quiet, letting the words of truth penetrate us in the way that it's important for us. So breathe and be grateful that you're so blessed. And imagine with me that maybe a rich uncle has died, maybe you've come into an inheritance, but suddenly you're led and pointed to a large warehouse with heavy doors, strong. You're told that it's yours. And as you open those big and heavy doors and walk into the dimly lighted interior, you see shelves laden with things that remind you of the blessing that you've already experienced, but they're there in abundance. You see all sorts of valuable things that again remind you of your world, and they're stacked high. You cannot help but say, I am so blessed, and I'm grateful for that which I have, not just before I walked into this warehouse, but that which I have that is there as a result of the fount of all true source, divine source, has given. And then you walk a little further in that warehouse and you get into a place that seems to be lit from above, although you can't see the source of the light. It's almost like a chapel in the middle of a warehouse. And as that light shines on you, and as you stand in the center of that circle, you feel something that you feel now more strongly than you have before. You've had an inkling, but now you feel it ever more strongly. You know that you are a child of God. You are one who has the inheritance of the divine given to you. You are not only that material inheritance, but you are that spiritual inheritance. All that is true of the divine is available to you because of who you are. And you move on a little bit. And it's like you've moved into an area that's a loading dock for outflow, for taking some of those riches, those valuables, and distributing them, giving away. And you're urged, oh, let me give in exactly the way it's mine to give. And so you open the doors of that loading dock. And one by one, you say goodbye to some of those things, the material things. But you're grateful because it gives you a great sense of purpose and joy. You are truly blessed. So take this tour through the warehouse. Be grateful in the silence for what you have. for who you are and for what you give in the silence. Hold this close to you. This feeling, this understanding, this truth. As you come back in your awareness to this time, in this place, with great gratitude. And so it is.
And as we turn the lights back on and come back to the present moment, we are urged to give. We are urged to give. So now is the time to share our gifts. Unity of Payson greatly appreciates your gifts in support of this ministry. These gifts also go out to the larger community. As you listen to the offering song, you'll have time to make a contribution. We have information on the slides for giving. You can go to unityofpayson.org and click on the Donate and Support tab. Let's bring our attention to our gift at this time and call to mind our heart's desires. Together we affirm, freely we give and freely we receive. The offertory song is Amazing Things by Michael Gott, one of my favorites.
Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing things with the choice each new day brings, and with every step you take, bless the progress that you make. The reason you live is there in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams, you will do amazing things. The places you will go and the people you will know. Don't worry when, where or how. You don't need to know that now. You're on the right track. No need to look ahead or back. Just enjoy what this day brings. You will do amazing things. You
your eyes, take a breath and smile. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. 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 Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things.
Okay. We will do amazing things. We will do amazing things with these gifts that we've given and been given. We're grateful for these gifts. We bless the gifts and we bless the givers. As we say together, divine love flowing through us blesses and multiplies all that we are, all that we have, all that we give, and all that we receive. We are abundantly prosperous, and we give thanks. And so it is. Amen. We continue on with our theme for November, grateful. Next Sunday's speaker is Rev Neal Worthington. Grateful for what I foresee is his title. You know, we have a gratitude practice every evening, Reverend Neal and I, and one of our gratitudes is an advanced gratitude. So it sounds like this is what the topic will be about next week. Be sure to stay tuned for that. So for our announcements, I'll share a few, but you can check the calendar at unityofpayson.org for more information and the Monday e-newsletter. The Course in Miracles will be canceled for the third Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, because Reverend Neal will be performing an ecumenical service for Thanksgiving with some other pastors at Mount Cross Lutheran Church. Well, it looks like he is the only speaker, according to this flyer, at 7 p.m., Tuesday, November 21st. Reverend Neal would like to remind you about Saturday Soul Boost at 4 p.m. on Zoom, a brief, casual, and fun discussion of the monthly theme and lesson for the week. And everybody gets a say. And now we have a PS from Neal.
So I would really appreciate your support at that ecumenical service if you're able. It's an opportunity for me to speak the truth that I know in a different context. And I'm looking forward to it. So if you can, please join me at Mount Cross on Tuesday at 7 p.m. There'll be some good music and some other things too that are part of other faith traditions that we don't necessarily do exactly the same thing, but so much we have in common. And I'm glad to be a part of that. I just want to mention one thing. I forgot. Did I tell you forget was one of the things we're supposed to do? So I'm going to have to tell Terry, I didn't get it in my notes. There's a wonderful quote from Shakespeare and The Merchant of Venice, given to me as a result of Soul Boost yesterday, and somehow it never made it into my notes here. Anyway, it's exactly where it is, what we're saying today. So look at that. I'm going to send it to Terry and ask her to include that in the newsletter tomorrow, so that you can kind of recap and reinforce what we've learned today. Again, I am so grateful for all of you who are with us today, both online and in person. If you're online, stay for a moment. If you're here, stay for a moment and enjoy a little fellowship. And we're going to end with our peace song, and we're going to circle up as we always do. Now, I just want to mention one thing. Betty here has a stole on, and she's the one that you have to follow for the motions for the prayer for protection, as we say that at last. But peace song and prayer for protection, and we'll close our service.
Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that is meant to be, with God as Creator, family are we. Now we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me, and this is the moment now. With every step I take, this is my joyous thought. I take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me.
And together we do the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. And the presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you so much for being here. We'll see you again soon. And do we have a gallery view? Is this the gallery view? Okay. So enjoy the fellowship and goodies back there if you're here in person. And so I want to greet everybody. Kay, I'm sorry. I copied that quote out, and it was so good, and I didn't make it in my notes. So glad to see you here from Alabama. Teresa, oh, such a rock. I got to talk to you soon. We got some good things happening in Payson, and you got some good things happening in Payson, and I still got some signature I need to give you. Debbie, down in Buckeye, I believe, and TJ and Roni, Frosty in Phoenix, Sammy and probably Terry together with her, Leslie. Oh, if you're going down to lunch Thanksgiving dinner at Rom's, Leslie's going to have a lot to do with that, her plant-based cooking. And Mary Ann, so good to see you all, and we'll see